Hey everyone, I'm Nicole Guillaume with Guiding Echoes, the channel that encourages you to discover the wisdom of your soul. And today we're discussing this pesky little thing called our intuition. And why is it pesky? Because there are times when it seems as if it works when it wants to, how it wants to. And let's be honest, at times it can be really confusing. So if you're like me, and so many of you are, you've ran into situations where it seemed as if your intuition steered you wrong or where your intuition wasn't working at all. So we're going to talk about this whole dilemma of not being able to trust our intuition, because obviously we want to be able to trust it, right? But if it keeps showing up in ways that has us questioning ourselves and questioning life and questioning our senses, clearly that's not good. So the first reason as to why you may not trust your intuition is you may not necessarily understand how it works. It may be communicating with you in a way that is confusing and in a way that almost seems deceptive. I had this really interesting thing that happened a couple of years ago where I would be driving somewhere. Let's say I'm going to the grocery store. So I'd be driving to a grocery store by the name of Vons. And on my way there, I would suddenly get this idea that I should go to another grocery store. The name of the other grocery store would pop in my head and I'd be like, well, I guess I'll go to that one instead. So I go to that grocery store and it's just pure chaos. The registers aren't working. Everything I need is not there. The things that I do need seem to be higher priced than normal. So I'm there wondering, why the heck did my intuition tell me to come here? Like, why did the name of this grocery store pop up when I was on my way to the other one? So I give up on this grocery store and I go to Vons, where everything was working just fine. They were in stock. They had everything I needed in stock. They had, yes, including toilet paper, for those of you wondering. They had normal prices. Their registers were working. Like, everything was fine. So I was frustrated with my intuition because I'm like, why would you tell me to go to this place, to this other store, where it was madness and I wasn't able to get anything done, versus Vons, where all of my shopping needs were met as if by magic. Like, I was just completely perplexed by this. And then a few days later, I had this other thing happen where I was on my way to one restaurant for breakfast and I had the idea to go to another place instead. So I went ahead and followed my intuition and went to this other place. And when I got there, they were closed permanently. And I'm like, okay, that's 2 for 2. Like, what is going on? This continued to happen for a few weeks and I was so frustrated. Like, to say I was frustrated, that's not even the right word. I don't know if there's a word that describes how confuzzled I was by everything. And I'm like, good Lord, I do this for a living? Like, what is up with this? Like, seriously, what is up with this? And what I realized was that my intuition, the lovely voice that it is, was telling me where not to go. It was telling me where not to go. Another situation that had happened was I had been driving somewhere, I think it was Disneyland, and I had the idea to go on a different route than I normally go. So I thought about that for a second. I'm like, my intuition's been really off lately. Do I listen to this? And I'm like, well, maybe it's trying to save me from traffic or something. So I go on the alternate route. And I ended up getting to a street that was closed. So I had to turn around, backtrack, go all the way. Oh, so obviously that was frustrating. And I know my life is hard. I know. So it was frustrating. And then later on, when I was thinking about it, like I said, I realized my intuition was telling me where not to go. And that didn't make any sense to me, because I'm like, okay, intuition, because I do talk to my intuition like that. I'm like, okay, intuition, I wasn't even on my way to that grocery store. I wasn't even considering going that route. I didn't even really want to go to that restaurant. Why would you come up and show me where not to go? So once I figured it out, once I realized my intuition was basically saying, hey, you can go anywhere you want. You can go to any of these different restaurants, but just don't go to this one. Or you can go to all these different stores, just don't go to this one. I started to recognize that it was trying to save me from situations that were not going to work out for me. Now, of course, it took some detective work to put that together. And this was happening over a span of weeks. It was really, honestly, it was making me kind of mad. It was making me kind of mad because I felt like I was wasting a lot of time and energy making horribly wrong decisions. So then I had to have a talk with my intuition and my own energy and say, okay, I understand what you're doing. I understand this now. But if I'm already on my way to a specific place, or I'm already taking a route that's working for me, I don't need you to pop up and tell me where not to go if I'm already not going there. And after having that conversation, after setting that intention, it never happened again. In fact, what happens now is if I'm on my way to some place where, I haven't really tested this out, but what I believe is happening now is if I'm on my way somewhere where something, I don't want to say something bad's about to happen, but where maybe things aren't going to go my way, I just get this tingling sensation that may not be my best option. And so now, since my intuition and I have come to an understanding, when that tingling sensation comes up, I may think, okay, where's the best place for me to go? And then an image will pop up and I'll follow that. So that said, that is an example of not understanding my own intuition. I had no idea what the F it was doing. So if you're going through something similar where it seems like your intuition is always wrong, what I would advise you to do is to keep a journal and start writing down what your experiences are. Start writing down all of the times your intuition was wrong, but also the times that it's right. And you should start to see a pattern. After some time, you'll notice what the pattern is. And like I said, it took weeks before I realized how my intuition was speaking to me. And then, like I said, I had to have a talk with it. I had to set a new intention and tell my intuition exactly how I needed it to work with me and why the way it was currently working with me was not helpful. So that takes us to number 2, the reason that you don't trust your intuition. It's probably because you don't trust yourself. So here's what this looks like. And I get emails from you guys all the time, so I know you guys are going through this one. Not trusting yourself looks like this. You have a dream of the future, and it comes true. And you're in awe of it, and you're ecstatic, but then you're like, did that dream really come true, or was it just in my head that came true? Another way that not trusting your intuition looks like is you are a natural medium and maybe you're in denial of it, or you just don't believe that you are. Who knows, whatever the case is. But you start to sense spirit. You maybe see them, you hear them, and one day you're brave enough to deliver a message on behalf of spirit to someone who is still here in the physical world. And wow, you nail every detail, don't you? You get everything right. You're beside yourself because this is exciting, right? And then 24 hours go by and you start to think, yeah, but did I really deliver a message? Did I really hear spirit? Like, I know this person validated everything I said, and yeah, I told them things that I couldn't have possibly known, but did that really happen? If we don't trust ourselves, if we don't trust our own experiences, how can we trust our intuition? Intuition is elusive at best because it is a feeling. It is knowledge and wisdom and impressions and feelings and words and visions that are coming to us outside of our physical known realm. So, since we don't really have hardcore science to back it up, since we don't have anything physical we can hold on to and grasp when it comes to that, we have to look at the evidence. What evidence is your intuition providing to you? I have a feeling that many of you watching this can attest that your intuition and experiences have handed you a lot of evidence. You have a lot of experiences in which you can look back and say, well, I had this feeling that XYZ was about to happen and it did, but I don't know if I'm intuitive. Or I had this feeling that so-and-so wasn't about to be trusted. Turns out I was right. But I don't know if I'm a human lie magnet. I don't know. Trust your experiences. Trust your experiences. And here's the thing, is that most people who don't trust their intuition and they don't trust their experiences, there's something about yourself you're not trusting. Okay? So here's how you can fix that. I want you to really think about how you are when it comes to keeping your commitment to yourself. How good are you at self-care? And when I say self-care, I'm not talking about getting a pedicure, taking a bubble bath. I mean, on a day-to-day basis, how well are you at self-care? Are you eating healthy? Are you drinking plenty of water? Are you going for walks? Are you exercising? Are you keeping private things private when you should be? Are you reaching out to people when you need help? Are you encouraging yourself to be a better person? Are you following through on your own commitments that you've made to yourself? How well do you like yourself? See, if we don't like ourselves very much, then we don't trust ourselves very much. If we tell ourselves, I'm going to start eating better, I'm going to start going for walks, and then we don't do it, then we know that we're flakes, right? We know that we're flaky. We know that we trust ourselves so little or care about ourselves so little that we don't even keep our commitment to ourselves. That's how little we think about ourselves. And then to make things even worse, we could put ourselves down. Like, God damn it. I told myself I was going to eat healthier and I went to McDonald's and I had this and I was just too tired to cook for the family when I got home. And I made them macaroni and cheese and hot dogs. Like, that's not healthy. And then we start to just get on ourselves for the ways that we fail. Start building habits that allow you to trust yourself. If you tell yourself you're going to eat healthy, start in a small way. Maybe it can be that you're going to have half a cup of blueberries once a day. Doesn't matter when you have them. Maybe you have them in the morning. Maybe you have them at lunch. Maybe you have them dinner. You just start with baby steps, right? Start small. If you tell yourself that you're going to drink more water, then have at least one glass of water a day. Exchange one soda out, one tea, one whatever. But start building these habits slowly. And over time, you'll start to trust yourself because you'll realize, oh, I really can stick to these habits. I really can keep my word to myself. The problem is that when we initially set a goal for ourselves, we tend to, well, if you're like me, you might have this all or nothing mentality. Guilty. And so you'll hit something full blast the moment you're going to start, right? You're like running out of the gate full speed. And runners will tell you that when you're running out of the gate, that is not the time to go full speed. In fact, that is the time to go slow. You go fast as you approach the finish line. And that is a wonderful analogy for how we should approach our habits and goals in life. Start small, and as that picks up speed, then you go faster, then you do more. So when we do these little habit building exercises, it helps us to keep our word to ourselves, right? Helps us to keep our commitment to ourselves. And when that happens, we don't look at ourselves as flaky. We don't look at ourselves as we're liars. Because that's the thing is, if we make a commitment to ourselves and we don't follow through, we subconsciously, unconsciously think of ourselves as a liar. Who trusts liars? Who trusts liars? People who are gaslit and manipulated, right? We don't want to be that. So when you start to indulge in these exercises that help you to build trust in yourself as a default, you start to trust your intuition more. So I believe that most people don't trust their intuition because they don't trust themselves. They don't trust how they live their own lives. They don't trust their own thoughts. They don't trust their experiences. They don't trust their ability to choose good life partners, to choose good friends, to choose a good career path. Start engaging in trust building exercises with yourself, and you can have an accountability partner to help you with this. And it doesn't have to be about intuition. You know, building trust isn't about intuition, not at first. It's about building trust in yourself. So if you do decide you're going to drink more water, by the way, that's that keeps coming up because it's actually my thing right now. Like, I'm trying to drink half a gallon of water each day. And I have a friend that's doing this with me. So this is my water bottle. Chug it like it's wine. And then it's got, I don't actually use this because I'm trying to drink 3 of these a day. But I have a friend who's doing this with me. So it actually makes it fun. So at the end of the day, we'll text each other and be like, hey, did you drink your water? And I'm like, yeah, I did. How much did you drink? And then we have like this I don't know, this conversation where we're excited and proud of ourselves and proud of each other for drinking water. But hey, it's a fun little game that we do now, and it's a healthy exercise. And now drinking this much water has become second nature to me. So do you think by doing that, by staying hydrated, do you think that helps me to build my trust in myself now? Of course it does, because when I'm thirsty, I know I'm not going to go for some sugary drink. I'm not going to go for a juice. I'm not going to go for something I shouldn't have. I'm going to go for some clear, wonderful, hydrating, electrolyte-filled water. That's my plan. So I hope that you found this video helpful. Hey, in the comment section, I want to do something different. I want you guys to tell me what you're going to do to start building trust in yourself. I don't want to know how you're going to build trust in your intuition, because that's going to come. As you start trusting yourself more, you are going to start trusting your intuition. And when that happens, your life is going to feel more fulfilling. You're going to feel more whole, because that's what trust does. When we can trust ourselves, when we can fully love ourselves, just things start to happen in our lives at an amazing speed in magical ways. So figure out how to trust yourself. Tell me how you're going to do that. Put it in the comment section down below. And for those of you who maybe don't have any ideas, just go down there and read what other people are going to do. And be sure that you guys encourage each other in that section. And I see you guys do it all the time. Like, this is such an amazing community. When I go down and I read the comments, I'm just really inspired by the way that you guys talk to each other. It's really sweet and it's precious, and it's not something that's usual on YouTube. It's just not. So it really makes me happy to see that. So, all right, guys, keep inspiring each other, keep encouraging each other. Tell me what you're going to do to start building trust and faith in yourself, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.